Welcome to the Relaxed Dog Podcast, the podcast where the dogs are the stars of the show. Hello and welcome to the Relaxed Dog Podcast, sponsored by The Relaxed Dog. Thank you for listening in. I'm your host, Robert Ober, and I hope that you are well. This week, our guest is a friend of mine, Nicki, and she's going to be telling us all about her Pug Tank. But first, in some doggy news, a dog robot that was developed by Boston Dynamics is being deployed on duty in Singapore parks to roam around and remind people to maintain social distancing. Not so much news, but just a message that I'd like to send out there is for people that have got into the COVID puppies. So, all good and well. I hope everything goes really good for you. It is a good time for people to get puppies and develop that bond, but please get them used to how life will be when you are going back to work and when the house is not as packed full of people as it is now. Really important to get them used to how life will be later on if you don't want to have too many issues with separation anxiety and a few other things later on. Anyway, on with the main part of the show. Okay, well, I'm going to welcome to the podcast my friend Nicki, and she's going to tell us all about Tank. So, I'd like to introduce Tank to the listeners.
Yeah, Tank is my pug. He is 1 year. He's got one eye, and he was a rescue. He's desexed. He's a fawn. He's grey around the nose now. He's how old is he? You're 5, and he's 6 at the end of this month.
Okay. And how did the two of you meet?
Oh, how we met. Okay, so I had a client with 2 large dogs. They had a friend which had a fair few pugs and wanted to downsize a little bit. So I went and got the male, and one of my friends got 2 females. And then we brought them home, had some vet work done, and had them desexed and just have them as, I've just got him as a pet. So he's also my assistance dog, so he has been to Mingara, to a couple of events, into the restaurant, into the poker machines before.
So sorry, he goes. You take him in to play the pokies.
Yeah. I didn't play the pokies, but I went with some friends. There was a dog event on.
Okay. Yeah.
So he did go into that section. So the people were a little bit shocked to see him. He had his little assistance dog vest on.
Mm-hmm.
It was very popular. He's been in the Chinese restaurant there, and he's been to a couple of events there, a couple of pet events. So he's been up on stage there too to do some competitions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a good boy. He's very quiet, very gentle. I don't know. You ask me questions and then I'll answer, because I could just talk about him for hours. So.
Okay, so we'll go back a step. So you said an assistance dog. So explain a little bit about that.
Okay, so he's my medical assistance dog. I'm military, so I did 15 years in the army, and I do get a little bit anxious sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually a provider for assistance dogs, so I can provide the permit, the vest, the training and the assessment through my business, which is Animal Behaviour New South Wales. So, so he is actually my assistance dog. So he goes with me when I need him. I don't need him all the time. I need him at home all the time, but sometimes if I don't feel a bit anxious that day, I'll actually take him with me to a job or take him with me out to a restaurant or wherever I go. So he's got a permit, so he's allowed to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now, how do you find?
And he just, so if I feel a bit anxious, he just sits with me. He just sits on my feet. And he even gets up on my lap. He just knows what I feel like. So, he's good like that.
Absolutely. I think most people don't give the dogs anywhere near the credit due when there's that emotional connection that they sense the difference.
He knows straight away. He just comes, sits on my feet, and if I'm a little bit out of sorts, he'll even come and sit up on my lap. So, and he just stays there. So,
wow.
Until I feel a bit better, and then he just hops off. He knows more than I do, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Excellent. And how do you find most, say, people or establishments where you go, do they accept him straight away, or do you ever get asked why you're bringing a dog in?
Well, he's got a little vest and a permit, so they usually don't say anything. 95% of the time it's fine. Occasionally you get someone that doesn't like a dog. I have had someone in the supermarket push a trolley into him, which I know, and they just said to me they didn't like dogs and to move away or something. So, we just handled that politely. I just said to Tank, come on, off we go, and then he was fine. So that very, very small percentage of people will say, I don't like dogs and keep them away. But pretty well people are quite nice and want to say hello to him. So sometimes, depending on how I feel when I'm out with him on a particular day, sometimes I'll just say he's working, just leave him alone. Other times, if it's a little girl or a little boy or something that want to pat him, I usually let them have a little pat. So, but most of the time it's fine. Occasionally you get asked for ID or something, but most of the time, no. They just see he's got his vest and he's doing his job and he's quiet. He just plods along. So
nice.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Tank has one eye.
Yes, Tank has one eye. So before I got him, he had apparently there was an accident where a larger dog had grabbed little Tank's head and actually tried to send Tank to heaven. And their tooth, one of the big canines went through in his eye and it was split, so it was taken out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's just got a little line there now. So
I guess to him, there's never really been any adjustment issues because he's basically always just had one eye.
Yeah, from when he was about from 1 year old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it didn't really affect him with other dogs. He was a little bit afraid, and that when I got him, but he's been a lot of places, done a lot of things, and he's really, really good now. So even on the weekend, I took him to the beach up at is it Caves Beach, Spoon Bay, something like that. He went up there. There's a little Jack Russell. Was running around playing, that was fine, and then Tank went over to his owner for a pat, and the little Jack Russell got upset and rounded Tank away from the lady, which was fine. And he just, when he got rounded up to move away, he just came straight back. He didn't bat an eyelid. He just, So he wouldn't hurt a fly. He'll just roll on his back or he'll just wander off. So he's a big softie.
Did you have to think long and hard about calling him Tank?
Well, he came with that name, so I just kept it.
Okay,
I was going to change it to maybe Hank or Frank or something similar, Frank or Hank, but I just stuck with it, so he seems happy. And he gets boy, mummy's boy a lot, so or boy, mummy's boy or mummy's baby, so they're sort of like his nicknames. Yeah.
Okay. Did you have other dogs at home when he first came into your household?
Yes, we had I think he had Wilma Pug, which was a rescue, and I had Betty Pug, and I had, I've got to think, and we had Mittens, a Swedish Valhorn, which now she's retired and lives with my parents. He's been with a few different dogs before.
And everything went smoothly when you got introduced?
Oh, perfect. Perfect. He's a big softie. He wouldn't hurt a fly. Wouldn't hurt a fly. So we actually have poultry. So we have chickens and ducks, and yeah, he runs around with them, and he'll go and lay in the sun with them and that sort of thing. So and lick their face and things. Yeah. So he's a big sook. He's a big sook.
Mm-hmm.
He's called Tank too because he's a big unit. He's 13.5 kilo and he's at the right weight. He's over standard for a pug. He's just much bigger. So he's a pet quality pug. He's not a show quality pug. So yeah, he's I think when I got him he was about 15 or 16 kilo. It was quite portly, and we got the weight off him, but he's very muscly in that too. So even at a really good weight, he's still 13.5 kilo, which is, 5 kilo more than a normal male pug is.
Well,
but,
I guess for a pug, tank suits him then.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He's a big boy.
Okay, you mentioned he does some shows, so like trick shows or exhibitions?
Oh, and only does a bit of obedience, so he doesn't do the actual show because he's not a show registered dog. He's just a pet. So yeah, he shakes hands. He comes when called. He will go into the poultry aviary and actually pick me up an egg and bring it out to me.
Oh, nice.
So I asked him,
how did that come about? Is that a natural sort of thing, or do you sort of...
Oh, I don't know. He would just went in there to see what was going on. He would actually to check them out and obviously to have a look and see if there was any leftovers or anything that he could eat. But we just really feed the grain and greens, so there's not much. I know he's eaten the spinach and that sort of thing in there before, but he went in just to have a look, and the weight set up is a little bit hard. I've got to actually get on the ground to get. I can't bend right down to get the eggs. So when I was down on the ground getting them, he just went in there to have a look, and then he put one in his mouth, and I told him, "Come on, bring it out here." And then I swap. So he gives me the egg, and then I give him a little chicken treat. So
that's cool.
Which he holds them in his mouth so gently. He doesn't mark them. Yeah, but he has dropped them before, and they've broken on the ground. So. Yeah. That sort of thing. He doesn't do it often, but he does do it if I ask him to. So, but he's a good boy. He follows me. Always comes when I call him. I can walk on a really loose lead. Just don't even, I could hold the lead with a finger. He just toddles along. As soon as I stop, he just stops and looks at me. Like he just did that with a bit of training, but also just did that because we've got such a good bond, I think. Yeah, he wouldn't go anywhere. I could leave the gate. Not that I would ever leave the gates open, but if I did, he would never go anywhere. So,
okay. Does he have any favourite spots?
Yes, he does. Right up the top of our yard, we're a bit semi-rural, so right up the top there is like a platform. I think there used to be a veggie garden there. It's really thick grass there now, and it's a really sunny spot. He likes to lay there. He also likes to put his head on the other dogs. We've got some other pugs and a poodle. So if they're there together, he'll always rest his little head on them.
Nice.
He likes to do that. He likes laying on the bed. He can't get on or off himself because it's a bit high, but I lift him on and off. I wrap him in a blanket too and go to sleep. I'll cuddle him. He goes on my little boys. We'll go on his bed so he can get up on his bed. Yeah, just as long as if it's nice and soft, and like a really fluffy blanket, he'll go on it.
And what about toys? Does he like playing with different toys, or?
No, he's never really. I think when I got him, he was quite serious. He come from like a breeding sort of facility sort of place. He never really had any toys, so no, he doesn't. Like my younger dogs, he doesn't, even though I got him at 1, he never really played. I know it sounds a bit silly, but he's very serious. He's a very serious dog. So I can imagine he'd be a professor or something if he was a person.
He has to be serious. He's looking after you.
Yeah. So he's always been very, I can just see he'd be, a very educated gentleman with a little pipe and a dressing gown, something like that. But, he'll run and play. He'll play with the other dogs and run and play, but toys, he's not that chews. If it's a good, not nice chew, like a goat horn or something, he'll chew on that. Actually, there is one toy that he'll play with, but it's a interactive toy. It's just a Kong wobbler. You put treats in it,
Yep.
and he will knock that. He will knock that, and they fly out.
Yep.
But to put he doesn't pick up a soft toy and put it in his mouth,
Okay.
and carry it around or anything.
So has Tank got any particular habits?
He really likes chicken. So if I've just steamed some chicken and he can still smell it, it's still warm, he'll bark at me. When we went to the beach the other day, I went up on the rocks a little bit and he barked at me. We went near the water. He barked at the water and ran back to me. He wasn't sure what it was. So he has got a little bit of communication there, like things like I want something or what is that sort of thing. Because he'd never seen the surf come in before. So he's seen water. Yeah, so he sort of barked at that and then ran to me as if to say, what is it? And he will, it's like a little woo, 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 talks like that. Not like a bark, like a normal dog would bark. It's more like, yeah. If he wants something, like extra treats or wants to come in or wants to go out or see something he hasn't seen before, like he hadn't seen me step on the rocks. I think he was worried about me because I stepped up on, they weren't too high, like at all. They were about a metre high, that was it. Yeah, he was a bit worried about me. He's telling me to come down, I think.
Okay, so he's not too keen on the surf. What about still water? Does he swim at all?
Yeah, he's okay. We've got a little pond here. We've got a few pools that we put out, the little plastic pools, and he does go in them, not like the younger ones will, but he will sort of pop in there. Bathing's great. He'll just stand there. He won't move. He likes the massage with the bath. Yeah, he's pretty chilled. He's pretty easygoing.
Another question I ask everyone is to complete the sentence. I can't believe my dog ate.
Okay. Well, he's a bit different to most dogs. So, because he's a bit of a serious boy, so he doesn't really do anything wrong. Like to say that he ate something that he shouldn't eat. He would eat the other dog's dinner if you gave him a chance. So
that's really good. So good to not have to worry about your dog picking up something off the ground that they shouldn't pick up.
Yeah, he's pretty good like that. Like he's pretty fussy with what he eats, but they get fed really good quality food. So, but he does get fed separate to the girls. He lives with 4 girls, so he does get fed in a crate. And as soon as he finishes, if I don't let him out instantly, he'll call out to me. He'll call out, "Whoa, mummy, mummy!" So he doesn't like to be in there. So he's only in there for the 10 minutes while he's eating, and then he's straight out. But then, he doesn't get access to the girls when they're eating because he would very gentlemanly, but he would still push them out of the way and take their food.
Fair enough. Has to keep up his physique.
Yes, he does.
Is there anything else you can tell us about Tank that comes to mind?
I don't know. He's just a really, really good boy. He's a little bit more human than dog, I think. He understands me and cares about me, and yeah, I don't know. I couldn't be without him. So yeah, wow. I don't know what else to say, but yeah, I love him. I love him like one of my children. He's one of my children. He's got some clothes. He's got a few dress ups. He's got a fireman dress up. He's got a pope. What else has he got? A teddy bear. A pirate because he's got one eye, so he's got a pirate dress up.
Oh no, classic.
Yeah, so he's got a few dress ups. He's good like that. He'll just put them on and he'll walk around. Doesn't bother him. He's probably one of the most easygoing dogs around, I think.
Oh, very nice.
I'm just patting him now. Oh, yeah. So if you pat him and then you stop scratching, for him under his muzzle, then he will bark at me, or he'll push me with his foot. He'll keep pushing me with his foot to do it more. He will do that too. So
It can never end and never be enough patting and cuddling.
Oh, you could pet him all day.
Well, thank you very, very much for sharing
That's okay.
the
That's
life
okay.
of Tank.
I'm glad to talk about Tank because we love him very much, and he's a very special boy. So,
did you also want to give your business a bit of a plug?
oh, if you like, I'm only a small business, so just a sole trader, but I own Animal Behaviour New South Wales, and I'm Delta accredited. I'm also an assessor for therapy dogs, medical assistance dogs, therapy dogs, and you counsel dogs, so your dangerous, menace, and nuisance dogs. Yeah, we do a lot with dogs. I do show training, agility training. We do group classes. We also breed and show pugs. So, so Animal Behaviour New South Wales is an accredited business. With I have a lot of quite a vast educational background and experience. So I've got a website which is just Animal Behaviour New South Wales, and we can help with any. We do cats too. So.
Cats, different podcasts.
We do cat behaviour consults too. So, yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much again, and take care.
That's okay. My pleasure. Thanks, says bye.
Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please feel free to leave a review on Apple Podcasts or whatever provider you are listening to this podcast on. Don't forget to like and share, subscribe, or even better, tell a friend. Please check out the Relaxed Dog Podcast Facebook group if you want to make some comments and help me to make this a better listening experience for you. Until next week, stay safe and remember, your dog is family.